With America's colored middle class collapsing and foreclosures at an all-time high, I wonder how the new old house Negroes are adapting to their sudden return to the urban cotton fields. Tom, grab that sack of cotton pillows, but this time, don't get comfortable. Hey, Amos, go tell Andy to turn up the blues. I'm not an emotional painter. I mean, when I go into the studio, it's calculated. I mean, I go in there with a strategy, a plan. Everything is already mapped out and drawn. So I'm not in there like making snap decisions or judgments from emotion. It's like, it's already kind of been, edited and narrated as a story. So what I get most excited about is when everything is finished and then we do a walkthrough for the exhibition, or we're getting ready to hang the entire collection. That's actually what gets me excited, because that's like the first time I get to see the whole story in its context. From the sketches in the book to the actual live gigantic pictures on the wall. That's kind of when I get excited. Yeah, we have beautiful mistakes. Nothing ever actually comes out exactly the way that I thumbnailed it or sketched it. I mean, we get pretty close. But what happens is, if I'm doing a short series or a small collection, things tend to stay pretty much, close to form, because I do it in a very quick period of time, because I paint on multiple pieces at one time. So I might lay out 10 or 15 pieces on the floor all at one time. So I'm painting 15 pieces at the same time. So when one painter, if it took me 3 weeks, it might take one painter 3 weeks to complete one piece, but at the end of my 3 weeks, I've completed 15, because I'm working on them all at the same time. So when I'm doing very large exhibitions, I've done some pretty large exhibitions, up to like 150 pieces for one show at one time. So when you're looking at that kind of production, you're just working. You just get lost in the work. And I don't think it's any different than a writer or a doctor or an accountant, like if they're doing their books, or if they're looking at a case file or anything, where they're so immersed in what they're doing, you really don't have time to look up or catch your breath till you're finished. So then when I'm finished and all of them are done, and then I get an opportunity to put them up for exhibition, that's when I get surprised. I understand the past and how it works and its functionality. But the one thing is that when you're not taught certain elements of your past, culturally specific, like I said, that's a sore subject for me. So one thing you learn by studying art history, you're really learning world history. So if you start to think of it from a practical perspective, the truth, is the truth, and everything else is going to fall by the wayside. Well, when you start to, look at my personal approach, the personal approach that I take is a visual documentarian. Well, we have magazines, we have newspapers, we have different, some people might consider credible agencies. That these are people who are supposed to be recording or reporting truth. So sometimes when you see a magazine clipping or a newspaper clipping in my work, it might not be because I believe or stand by the headline. I might put it in there to question the truth or the validity of this moment in history. Was it recorded correctly? How does this headline play against the imagery that I actually have in my particular painting? Because there's that funny old saying where they say that there's your story, my story, and then the truth. So my paintings try to be the bridge between your story and my story.